since 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
All right. Welcome. How are y'all doing tonight? Happy Thursday. I haven't been watching football. I was like celebrating my niece's birthday. She's 17 today. So, you know how that goes. Family first above everything. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Let me stop all these noises from happening. I don't know what all these noises are, but let me try to mess with some of this stuff. Can y'all still hear me? Good grief. Thank you so much, Aquarius. She's 17 years old. I can't believe that. Welcome to the members only live stream. I haven't done one of these in a while. Sorry about that. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought I would get on here and do a members only for you guys. Talk about Linda Lane a little bit, but before I do that, I don't know if you guys noticed on my community tab that I started a new channel. It is called 12 Gauge Addictions. And on that channel, I'm basically going to talk about addiction. I'm going to talk about, that's where I'm going to do the Serenity Sunday at. That's where I'm going to do all the self-help stuff at. So if you haven't, joined that channel, the link is on the community tab. So if any other reason you want to be on there, to to get to be able to see the Serenity Sunday because I want to start doing that again. Because for some reason it wasn't really going off like I wanted it to before, and I want to have a place where people who want to be there are going to show up. Um, Not necessarily those that are, logging in for true crime, but they're getting that. So, um, I hope that y'all understand because I want to do a different type. Yeah, that is my new link. Thank you so much. You know, I wanted to do a new channel just for that because I believe that whenever I do those on the true crime, people don't understand my purpose of doing that on the true crime. So I wanted to go ahead and be able to do that. I'm looking for this video that I downloaded earlier because I have a lot of information that I took from it. So I was going to talk about it. I don't know why it's downloading all these other videos. Let me see if Jeff H has these on his page. I don't want to really do the one where um here it is. I don't really want to do the one with the difference mode, but this one will work. So there's been a lot going on in true crime this last week, or I don't even want to say true crime. Been a lot going on in the um I don't know if you call it the IDAHO4 stuff. I don't know if you call it the true crime communities. I mean, it just been a lot of drama, and a lot of it stems from the GoFundmes for the families. And I talked about that earlier in the week, and I really don't believe a lot. Um, yeah, exactly. A person that you're subbing for, Aquarius, he blocked me for a reason that I don't even understand. I mean, because I was merely just talking, I was merely talking about how somebody can be so so mindful of somebody else's child, but not even take care of his own while he's on the live. That pissed him off. He said I was being rude, so he blocked me. He said, which, like I said, everywhere I go, it seems like I either get blocked or my name has preceded me. So I'm cool with that. Like I'm cool with not, going in people's places and they not talking to me or involving me like they once did, which doesn't bother me at all. Y'all know who I am, so I stand about my business, and that's all I'm about. I'm about doing the right thing for the right reasons. I'm not going to fit into a mold just to appease the masses. And and I think y'all know that about me by now. But this is from Jeff Page. And the reason that I want you guys to pay attention to these timelines, okay? Yeah, exactly. I want you guys to pay attention to these timelines. If you'd write them down or I'm going to tell you the timelines and I want you to pay attention to them, okay? The first one's going to be exactly 4 o'clock and 20 seconds. If you have headphones, you might want to put them in because you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to create conspiracies here, but you really do hear this stuff. Gosh, I didn't even know it was playing. Hold on a second. So at 4 o'clock and 20 seconds, you're going to hear a car start. And then at 4:07, 25 seconds, you're going to hear car doors, a noise like a car door opening. And then at 4:07, 30 seconds, you're going to see Brian's car arriving. So we'll go with those three, okay? So listen to the first one, which would be 4 o'clock and 20 seconds. And here we go. Did y'all hear that? You got to be really paying attention because it's right at 20. So if you didn't hear it, I mean, you hear a lot of this stuff better if you're wearing headphones. I mean, if you're just listening to it on a TV or something, you're not going to really hear it. So try to hear it again at 4 o'clock and 20 seconds. Okay. Here we go. So I heard it at 4 o'clock and 20 seconds. So at 4 o'clock and 20 seconds, what did we know that was happening around 4 o'clock? The DoorDash driver had arrived, right? So when that car starts, it makes me wonder if that's the DoorDash driver turning the car on. And then the next noise that you're going to hear is at 4:07 and 25 seconds. You're going to hear car door noises, kind of like it's either going to be a thud or it's going to sound like somebody clicking their car doors on. I can't remember which one. So this one's going to be a 4:07, 25 seconds. Okay, here we go. In between there, see if you can hear different noises because you can hear a lot of stuff, but I think a lot of it's coming from upstairs. Like there's a lot of movement, but I think there's either people underneath the camera smoking or it's coming from upstairs. Here we go. See right there, 4:01:08. You could hear like wheels turning, like the car was leaving. Okay, here we go. Listen, 4:01:08. Here we go. Okay, did you hear that? 4:01:08. It sounds like a car is leaving, like it's turning around. So I would say that that's the DoorDash driver. Let's hear it again. What's weird about this is you look at the PCA and it talks to you about the 4 o'clock timeline. And what I was thinking today when I kept rewinding this and listening to it, rewinding it, listening to it, is at 4 o'clock, that's when Kaylee was supposedly, that's when Dylan was woken up and Kaylee was playing with the dog. So at that point, Brian hadn't even entered the home yet, supposedly. Okay? Because here, you're going to see at 4:07 in 20 seconds or 30 seconds, that's when Brian arrives around this area. But you're going to see another car even before Brian's. So be looking at this, okay? Here we go. So already right now, this is when Dylan supposedly heard Kaylee playing with the dog, right? And people have speculated that this was the time when, they were upstairs wrestling with the assailant or whatever. But Brian hasn't even came into the location yet. 4:07:20 is when he drives by here. But one thing that I want you to be mindful of too is right before Brian drives up at 4:07, like almost simultaneously, there is somebody getting in their vehicle because you can hear their clicker and you hear the toot toot. So you're going to hear that right as the car is coming up. So I was thinking to myself, because I'm very analytical when it comes to stuff like this, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? If that person was walking to their car, there is no reason they did not see that white car drive by. Because you're going to see that car not drive by pretty fast. It's going to be going at a steady speed, but you're still going to be able to see it. You know what I mean? Exactly, Aquarius. Exactly. I always thought that they would have been like moving out of the way for each other because they were there almost at the same time. Either just random noise from the apartment complex. I'm pretty glad that it wasn't rowdy because you wouldn't be able to hear half this stuff. See, it sounds in the background because the laundry room is right there, okay? The laundry room is right, almost right near this camera. So a lot of these sounds that you might hear could be a dryer going, could be a washer going, because it kind of sounds that way. You know, that dryer sound that I do enough laundry that, I kind of memorize that sound because it can put you to sleep if it memorizes. I mean, not memorizes, but mesmerizes you. So listen to that sound before 407. Let me know if you can hear it. See, here's a vehicle coming at 4:05:30. Okay, but this isn't Brian that I know of. I think his was 4:07. There's no way that it took 2 minutes to go around the building. See, that's that first car that drives in there, backs out, and then goes back around. And Jeff has 2015 Elantra. So this could have been Brian. So this would have been the first time. So my point is this though. If she heard at 4 o'clock, approximately 4 o'clock, Kaylee playing with her dog. So from 4 o'clock to 4:05, he's not even in the house yet. So people can't assume that he was in there already killing them. I'm not trying to take sides here, but to be truthful, if that was going on at that time, then this would not be him unless this was another vehicle. But let's keep listening to it. The next time that you're going to hear something, it's 4:07:30. So 2 minutes and about 15 seconds till this car comes back. The only thing I can imagine that would make this any different on why they got the vehicles confused is if the DoorDash driver was driving a white sedan as well. If the DoorDash driver was driving a white Elantra, like at 11 to 13, that could have been the first car that they were seeing on the camera, and then they saw this vehicle. This is definitely a newer Elantra, but that would explain why they got the years off because they could have had the same type vehicle. We don't know what vehicle the DoorDash driver was driving. We've never been told. But at this point, this is when he turns around, goes back down Queen Road, goes to the stop sign, makes a 3-point turn, and makes a descending around the building. So pay attention at 407:30. That's when you're going to hear, or 407:26. You're going to hear the toot toot. Here we go. Yes, 407. 407:30 is when he comes around. Start listening around the 25-second mark. See, did you hear that? Let me back it up just a little bit. Listen again. And then here comes the car. Okay, so here it is, 407 and 40 seconds. So, yeah, so really it was 408 about that he went into the house because they were saying that she started hearing noises at 4 o'clock, supposedly Kaylee playing with her dog. The next time they talk about noises in the house is someone's here, but they don't give a they don't give a timestamp. And then it's playing on her phone TikTok around 4:12, and then at 4:17 he supposedly leaves out of there at a high rate of speed. So y'all heard the car sound, right? Like somebody was clicking the car door off. Let me play it again. Here we go. So look how close that sound is, and he's descending around that corner. So either they had just gotten out of the car, they were opening the car up. Either way, they could have seen this vehicle drive by. That's if they were outside, if they're on their way to the car, if they were walking toward the car. They would have noticed this vehicle walking by, wouldn't you say? Okay, the next sound that we're going to look for is 414:43, and this is a dog bark or a door sound, like a door opening or something. So 414:43. So theoretically, I would say that he'd be in the house about right now. This would have been enough time to get out of the car and kind of walk up to the house because you're like Texas said, you're just not going to run into the house like a madman. You're going to kind of walk in there stealth, you're going to try not to be seen by other people because the lights are on outside. Those party lights were on and you saw how lit up it lit up that back patio. So I'm sure he's wondering how the hell am I going to get in there without anybody seeing me? Yes. Yes, you're right, Texas. So 414:43, you're going to hear a dog bark or a door closing. It's kind of faint, so you got to listen really hardcore to hear it. Yep, it sure does. Yeah, you really can't hear much right here. There's not a lot going on. It's really quiet. I believe that the 414:43, there's a dog bark in the distance, but I don't know if it comes from that house. It could come from any of those houses around there or the apartment. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily coming from the house, but you do hear a dog bark. So if this individual entered the house at 4:08, he's already been in there like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Hey Paula, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Exactly, Rondi. I mean, can you imagine if you didn't know what was going on? You were just sitting there under that camera smoking or vaping and just chilling, maybe drinking a beer or whatever. being totally oblivious and unaware what was going on. Yeah, yeah, or they're just about to be gone. Yeah, you're right, Texas. And you know what's sad is they might have not even been gone, like dead, by the time he left the house. They could have died 30 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 15 minutes later. You know what I mean? They could have been fighting for life, but you're right. Okay, so the next sound's going to be a 41443. You're going to hear a dog barking from a distance somewhere. I don't know how he would know that. You're right. Okay, did y'all hear that? Okay, let me back that up a minute. I forgot about that sound. It's a scraping noise, but I think that's coming from the apartments. So 43, you're going to hear the dog bark in the distance. Did you hear it? Did y'all hear that? Okay, what I'm thinking though, and this is how people don't put things together, all right? You know darn well if a dog is barking somewhere, another dog gonna bark. So that doesn't necessarily mean that was Murphy, but if that other dog was barking, that dog could have barked. Or maybe that dog would just saw a cat or heard something or whatever and barked. It could have been in the building in one of these apartments. You know what I mean? So that doesn't mean that that was Murphy because that one sounded loud and clear. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that sounded loud and clear. So the next one's going to be 41507, and you're going to hear some kind of sound. So I don't want to tell you what it is, but you're going to hear it. 41507. Here we go. Okay, did y'all hear that? There's that one. Right there. Yeah, I think that's somebody getting their laundry or somebody walking around upstairs. I mean, okay, the next one's gonna be at 417. If if you hear it if you listen, you're gonna hear a car leaving. So I think this is him leaving the premises. So y'all be listening for that. 417. Yeah. Elantras and Kias. I mean, it's exactly 416 and 59 seconds, and then you hear it. Y'all pay attention. Here it comes. See, I can't hear it on here right now, but I had my headphones on earlier, and you can hear it clear. And at 417:48, you're going to hear the squealing sounds. I think that's the time where he got to the end of the road and he started to accelerate out of the area. Or he could have been back behind Walenta and they caught the sounds. Okay, so here we go. 417:48. Okay, nothing really happened until 423 now, 423:07. And this is where see somebody just clicked on the car. Okay. So from 408, so from 407 to 423, you saw all that stuff that was going on. Okay. So yeah, you do hear a dryer, right? You heard that clicking sound. It's yeah, yeah. You can hear the car kind of taking off, like I said at those time frames. But it's hard for me to hear them right now because the sound is just going in different directions. It's not focused in your ear. So when you hear it in your ear, you can hear a lot of stuff. But I just wanted to focus on the time of the crime. I didn't want to go from 2 o'clock to 6 in the morning because there's no need. There's no need. Even if you, even if you see certain things going on, I'm sure that was just daily, everyday occurrences. People coming and going, dropping stuff in the trash can. All kinds of stuff. You focus down to the time of the crime. You're gonna focus your energy on what you hear and what you don't hear. Yeah, I don't hear the car leaving, but when you have your headphones on, you can hear it in the distance. You can hear the car not really starting, but you can hear it taking off. You can hear it kind of like "Ooh," that ooh sound. And I could be wrong. That might not be the car leaving, but I mean, I figured that at 417 that would have been the sound. You know what I mean? Um, so what was interesting to me was there was so much going on. There was like those dryers were going. There was a dog. Maybe somebody let their dog out to let their dog use the bathroom or whatever. And he heard the other dog and barked. Because I don't know if you heard that dog barking, but it was clear. I'm not saying that that was Murphy. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. I heard a couple times, you know. But all that sound is kind of muffled because it's in the distance, you know what I mean? And it's just interesting to me because I've never really cared about Linda Lane, to be honest. Y'all have heard me say that more than once. But today I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna go listen to Jeff's Linda Lane because he has the best sound that I think. Because he amplified the sound, he cut out a lot of the background noises and you can focus on the noises you do hear, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean the 417 and then the 448 is where you kind of hear the car accelerate. So I don't know if it's accelerating off of Taylor Avenue or if it's already behind the houses on Walenta. You know what I mean? And um let me see if I can find that video that y'all were talking about as far as the car being back behind the house at noon. Why are people focusing on the Elantra all of a sudden? What's been brought out that's made the Elantra all of a sudden something that people are talking about again? Because I've noticed a lot of people are focusing on the Elantra, and I'm wondering why. Do y'all have any clue? Hold on a second. I'm trying to find this video for y'all. And then I'll look and see what y'all said. You know, I like the members only a lot better because not everybody can see what we're. I mean, not that we're hiding anything, but it's like not only the people that want to be in here can be in here. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody's able to be in here, and not like we're hiding anything. It's just a different feel. I don't know if y'all enjoy it. This drives me crazy. It really does because I need to go through and sort all this stuff out. That's one of the reasons I started the other channel because there's too much stuff mixed in with all this, and it's hard to find what you're looking for, especially when you're in a hurry. You know, you're like trying to find what you're looking for, and you're looking through everything. I know I did a video on the Elantra. It's called "Is that the Elantra or Are We Seeing Ghosts?" Yo, hold on a second. I'm gonna find it. You know, sometimes I think it doesn't show me all the videos because it's like I can never find what I'm looking for, man. And I know that it's in here. By the way, I hope you guys are doing great. That y'all have had a good week and that, you know, the week has been good. Here it is. Now I forgot why I even looked up the Elantra video. why did I why did I look up the Elantra? I forgot. No, not yet. All the haters are in another live anyways. Yeah, pretty much probably. They always got something to say. Why did I look up the Elantra? Oh, I know what it was. Just isn't the one I want. Because I'm just showing a video here. You know, like I said, I get along with everybody. They just don't want to get along with me. I don't get that. But I'm not not a little Bia, if you're gonna talk stuff, you're gonna block me. No, we got a problem. We got a problem. Bro. Just some crazy shit. I know that Jeff and I did a video, and I know that I did a video on it. Let me have my video. So did y'all like the Sinaloa cartel stuff earlier that I uploaded? Because I thought that Gabe did a great job at explaining all that. Because he's done a lot of work with a lot of gangs, and I was gonna do the Aryan Brotherhood, but he has like from A to Z. So I mean that's a lot. And I didn't feel like going through all that, I didn't feel like going through the alphabet. Um but if you want to go check out his page, it's called Investigators, Police, and Politicians, I think it is. It's a great page. It has a lot of information on gangs. It really does. One thing, Texas, if they're not hating on you, I've always heard if people aren't hating on you or jealous of you, then you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? That's what I've always heard. If people aren't talking about you in a negative way or positive way, then you're not doing it right. Bro, this is driving me crazy. I know exactly what you're talking about. For some reason, I can't find it. I guess I'll have to bring that up on the next. Let me see if this is it. I know it was me and Jeff and I, and we were talking about the Elantra driving around the residence. And I could just look in my email to find it, but it would be the same thing. I feel like I'm holding a hostage while I look for this because I don't have a clue what you are talking about. So, what do y'all think about my second page? You think that it's gonna take off? You think it's gonna help people? Because that's really why I want to do it, because I want to help people in that arena. I'll be able to talk about different things that are not true crime related, and I'll be able to just notify people when I'm strictly talking true crime. It just drives me crazy. I'll find it after I get off the live. That's how it goes. That's exactly how it goes. When I'm not looking for it, I'll find it right away. Here it is right here. Sorry about that. I hope you are having a good conversation while I'm like putting y'all to sleep with my searching skills here. There's a lot of people who used to come and chat that they don't chat anymore. I don't understand why. I mean, I don't know if people ran them off or, they didn't like the drama. Okay, here we go. This is Jeff and I talking about this car. The Riley Strain case.
I'm going to hear people talking about this thing. It's so small you can't see it. Wait, how do I shrink it back down? Here we go. Pretty sure, let's see, in the description. Yeah, here you go. So the original video link is here. So if you go to that original video link.
What date that was when it was broadcast?
Yeah, 11/14. So so the murders happened from the night of the 12th going into the 13th, right? So this is actually one day after that.
Are you shitting me?
I guess it's they weren't so they weren't reporting right away. They weren't reporting that very day that it happened. I guess they were, news is fast, but I guess takes a little bit of time to get the guys out there. And
so this guy was local, right? It was local news.
Right. Actually, let me see here if I. Oh, okay, cool. It tracks. I thought I would have to share a different window, but this is the actual.
Now to North Idaho, where 4 University of Idaho students were found dead in an off-campus house yesterday morning. Today, both the university and police identified the students who were killed. 3 of them are from Idaho. Our Andrew Bartline just arrived on scene a short time ago. So Andrew, tell us what you're seeing and hearing now here live in Moscow.
Well, Doug, we'll start by kind of getting our bearings here. This is the corner of King and Queen in Moscow. Now, if our photojournalist Troy wants to pan for a second in this direction, you can see the water tower. That's kind of where the heart of campus is here at the U of I. So this is just adjacent to it. Now, this is the house where this has happened. It's all blocked off with police tape. We can see there's one Moscow police car over in the corner, kind of near the end of the house there. And there is a Moscow police officer in that car. We've kind of seen him get in and out of his car and float around. But of course, we're not getting a ton of information right now. We do know, as you said, Doug, 4 people dead, all students here at the University of Idaho. It is being investigated as a homicide. This was sort of discovered yesterday around noon when police responded to a call of an unconscious person. When they arrived on scene, they seen that there are 4 students that are dead. There's no suspect at this time. The latest we've heard from Moscow police, they do not believe there's an active threat out to the community either. Now, we have these names and we can release them for you guys right now if we want to throw up a graphic that makes it a little bit easier to digest. It's Ethan Chapin, a 20-year-old from Conway, Washington. Madison Mogan, a 21-year-old from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Xana Kernoodle, a 21-year-old from Avondale, Arizona, but we do know that she originally is from Post Falls, Idaho. And then Kaylee Goncalves, 21-year-old from Rathdrum, Idaho. We talked with a student who lives right next to this house where this happened. She had no idea that any of this happened the night of. She says that the next day they saw these police cars out and everybody in that house, 6 people live there. They've all since gone home. Her and her last roommate were the last 2 to leave. She says that's the same for all the houses in this block in and around this area of town. These students are going home early for Thanksgiving break after talking with their parents and deciding that that's how they feel most safe and most comfortable. So a lot of people going home early. There is a vigil scheduled for tomorrow at 5 p.m. We know that is confirmed through the university spokesperson, Kyle Faunensteel. So we'll be on site for that as well and bring you the latest there in terms of what exactly transpired, what led to this, if it was an act of aggression, if it was violent. Not a lot of details are getting confirmed right now. We're continuing to push to ask for these answers to find out what exactly transpired to lead to these students' deaths. Doug?
And Andrew, we know that they've said that they no longer need to shelter in place, that kind of alert has been lifted in the sense that there's not a threat to the immediate community. But have you heard anything in your discussions with the police department about a suspect?
No, and I think that's the part that makes this most confusing right now. In terms of information we've been able to get confirmed, the police department does not believe that there is a current ongoing threat. People do not have to shelter in place, according to the police. They also say that they don't exactly have a suspect narrowed down right now. So it is a little bit of confusing or seemingly conflicting information.
Pass. Yeah, around 150.
Okay, 150.
Wait, let me get an exact time where we see it. Boom, right there. 150. Well, let's call it 151, just to make the math easier.
Okay.
Here comes a second pass. There you go. 301. That makes it very easy. Well, for some, 301 to 151. That's 10,
okay,
right?
50 or 150. Then
Is it 10? I think it's 10.
10
Yeah.
minutes.
Because if it was 50, it would be 3. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that
Only
would
the simplest math that slows me down.
make sense. I mean, if he went all the way down Walenta and turned around, because that, I think we estimate. I mean, that's a clear shot, guys. I don't know if y'all can see that if you're on a phone or something, but if you're on a computer screen and you look for this video, let me give you the title of it. So if you want to go watch this on my page, it's on the live tab. It's called IDAHO4. Let's talk White Elantra and time. Come on in. So that's the video that it's on, and it's at 1901. That's whenever we start talking about this. And we go on for 3 hours and 50 minutes. So we're talking about a lot of things that night. And we even go and talk about Linda Lane. There's a lot of good information on all these videos. And I guess that's why people really don't look at my stuff, because there's so much information in my videos. They're used to not having a lot of stuff. But in my videos, especially with Jeff, we have tons and tons of discussion on a lot of different areas, so that's why whenever people are discussing other creators, I'm like, bro, I give just as much or more visuals and commentary than this guy does. You know what I mean? I don't just talk about one-dimensional stuff. So, it's all good. But y'all see the Elantra right there at the top. There's been no verification if this is Brian at all. I know you can't see it, but I'm looking at it full screen on my other screen, and it looks like it could very well be an Elantra. I mean, the question is, what was this vehicle doing? Was it lurking? Because it went by at 151 and comes back at 302. So 1 minute and 51, and then come back at 302. So what was it doing? Where did it go? Was it lurking around? Do they have the phone pings at this time? And that's another question I have for you guys to think about. All those other times that he supposedly came to the house, middle of the night, early morning, did he turn his phone off each time, or did he keep his phone on? You know? Yeah, Dairy Queen Blizzards are the best. Cookies and cream are the best. Let me play a little bit more of this. Estimated that night that we were all talking. I think we estimated that.
Now, wait a minute, though. Is he going the right way or the wrong way? Wrong direction at the wrong time?
Well,
Was
right
that the time he
now,
means to be where he has? I'm sorry. I'm not going down that again.
no, please no. Um, but didn't we estimate that Walenta is about a 5-minute drive from one end to one end, from that stop sign to the very end where you turn off and come back up Indian Hills?
You
Back.
wanna look? Let's see. Let me bring up.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because I'll let it play for 3 hours and it'll drive everybody nuts. And I don't have 3 hours to be sitting around. But let me show you this one part that I wanted to show you. It's when this reporter is talking about when he's down on that street. I don't think people really realize.
Kind of seen him get in and out of his car.
Idaho, where 4
So it is
Oh, you on the 14th.
they're looking to get confirmed information. So we
I want to show you the street.
are getting
How narrow it really is compared. Okay, right here. I'm going to pause it right here.
This is the corner of.
Okay, this is the next day, supposedly, right? So theoretically, if we're going to use our thinking caps, these cars were parked here. So if there was a car coming in, let's say DoorDash came in, and then 7 minutes or 5 minutes later, Brian came in. So if DoorDash would have been leaving here about 4:01 and Brian came in not long after, they could have intersected right here in this street right here. I mean, it's very possible. That could have explained why one may have backed up right alongside King Road next to the house and the other one drove by at 4:05, did the 3-point turn, and then left. That could have been the DoorDash. And Brian would have been the one at 4:07. So they could have passed each other. One could have went in the driveway and then backed out, came, and then turned around and went around the Queen Road and ended up on the side of the house, getting out about 4:08. But I've always said that. Look how congested this street is. And people act like, oh, you could have just gotten in there and gotten in and out, and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. And also along Queen Road Apartment, there was cars parked on the other side of the street. So it kind of left a little area for a vehicle to drive really fast through these streets. And that's just my own personal opinion there. But I don't know. Take that with a quarter and a cup of coffee and let me know how that works for you. But I mean, that's just my thinking right there, that you wouldn't necessarily be going around this street right here as fast as you could because these cars would have been right here. And you don't know if there was more cars on this side or even parked into these little apartments over here. I mean, they could have left since all the police and everything was already there. They could have left from then. But my point is this, that these cars right here, in any photo that you see, there's always cars lined up on this side of the street, and they're always lined up on Queen Road Apartment on the adjacent side of the street. So very well could have. Or he could have, if the DoorDash had a camera rolling, he could have got him on video. If anything, he could have got him at the stop sign. He could have got him as he was turning around, as he was backing up, as he was, he had to get out of there somehow. Yeah, very good point. I mean, I'm just trying to do Occam's razor here. I'm trying to be logical and not create conspiracy because my mind is telling me this is the most operative way that this would happen. And the reason I'm thinking that because I drive a big ass truck and I know how hard it is to get out of certain tight spots like this. So driving on a lawn truck, you would have, if these two vehicles had to be pretty small. But I could be wrong. Yeah. What if BK was going to pull into the driveway but saw DD coming and indicate he or she was pulling in? Yeah, I mean, because we've never been told what kind of vehicle the DoorDash drove. And if people are speculating, they can speculate, but I know that I've never heard. And let me hear the Fitzfax girl in the chat. Have you ever heard that? We have Fitzfax in the chat. Follow the instructions. Thank you, Heather, for being here. So if he waited till DoorDash left, just how did he know it was DoorDash there? I don't know if he knew DoorDash was there. I mean, it could have been just a regular random car pulled in front of the house. You'd want to wait until the car left, right? You wouldn't want to pull alongside, or maybe you pull alongside the house and watched until the DoorDash left. I don't know. I believe they dismissed the gas station car footage. The one at the 76, they said that one was legit. And that one supposedly has better video footage. Yeah, Fitzfax. We do need to follow instructions. I don't know if anybody's ever speculated that, Baywatcher. I mean, honestly, I don't think. See, as far as I remember, the DoorDasher came forward on his own. And he volunteered that he was there. I don't think they even knew that there was a DoorDasher at that point until he came upon and put himself in the investigation. But I would believe, and if they didn't, I don't know why they didn't, I would believe that they would have looked for evidence in the DoorDasher's vehicle, wouldn't you say? I mean, if that was part of the crime scene technically, but I could be wrong. Or stopped and waited for DoorDash to leave, decided it was clear and did a 3-point turn. Yeah. And then came back around Queen Road Apartments, parked in the back, did what he did, and then left. I mean, that makes sense to me, but I could say that to other people and they're going to just shoot my theory down because it's too simple, I guess. I don't know. It's too full of Fitzfax. So, I would believe that, these cars being on the side of that road and up along Queen Road Apartment play a huge denomination in these vehicles getting in and out of that location because, it was supposed to be cold, right? Cold and kind of windy and overcast. Always wondered if those two new interviews with the private driver that were conflicting each other, if one is the private driver and the other the DD driver. Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. Not to name drop another channel, but I liked that Marshall dude's voice who called into the Preacher Guy's show. He had his eyes on Maddie's boyfriend. 28 and foggy. Yeah, so that's pretty cold, right? I mean, if there was any moisture on the roads, definitely it would have froze a little bit. So if you're coming down that hill, you're going to be kind of a little more cautious, you would think. You wouldn't really speed up until you got to the end of the road where it flattened out. I mean, there's a lot of obstacles that this person would have had to maneuver or they could have wrecked rather easily. I mean, look at this road. If you were just hauling ass out of there, I don't think that you would have just rounded that corner as fast as you could. Because if you overcorrected, you would have ended up next to the dumpster, or you would have hit one of these vehicles. Or hell, you could have went off into the embankment right there down those stairs. Y'all saw body camera that night. Did you even see people's breath? No, I didn't. I didn't. And that was at 3 in the morning, right? Or maybe it wasn't. There wasn't a lot of moisture in the air. The Marshall guy had an alias, and he accidentally called the creator his own avatar name. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. Same. I didn't see the breath either. Yeah, I mean, so maybe it was a dry kind of cold. I don't know. You know where it's so cold that there isn't, you're breathing, but there's not moisture in the air enough to eliminate your breath. I don't know. I want to be an avatar. There you have it, folks. A lot of obstacles. The car had to wait for me at the top for me to get through before they could go down. Guy at the grub truck had shorts on. That's true. And that guy had a tank top on. But you know how kids are, they're going to be wearing the least amount of clothes, regardless of whatever weather it was. Hell, my brother used to wear flip flops in the winter. Some people are hot natured. They don't wear a lot of clothes in the winter, no matter how cold it is. I mean, look at some of these football stadiums. Some of them don't even wear shirts to the games, and it's snowing and freezing, and they ain't phased. I guess growing up in that area, if you grew up in the colder climates, like let's say Pennsylvania or Idaho, it does get cold. So you get accustomed to the cold. You get accustomed to, well, it's not cold yet. It's not cold until it's below zero. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. Hey, soul child, I still don't see you, but people are saying hello to you, so I'll say hello to you as well. 12 gauge, I understand that really loud music can be very disruptive. However, I feel there is a pattern of harassment from the PD on these students. I could hear PD saying, oh, it's teaching them the real world, however. So even the grub truck footage, do we see a single person's breath? You're right. I know someone that wore short to the bus walking through 6 inches of snow at time, or 6 feet of snow. So, I mean, there's a lot to be said about that, guys. You're right on point there. That we didn't really see a lot of the breath in the air, but I don't know what 28 degrees and foggy in Idaho, especially in Moscow, is like. I have no clue. I know here in Texas, it's a drier kind of cold. So you do see people breathing at a particular temperature, you know what I mean? So you just never know. But you are making some interesting points. You are making some good points here. Come on, Heather. Wonder how cold it was. I mean, because water freezes at 32, right? So I would say 30, 31, you would actually be seeing condensation in the air as you breathe. So I don't know. I don't have a clue. I mean, I guess that's what the weather page says, 28 and foggy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, It could be a different type of cold. I don't know. I don't know if they had any condensation on the ground. I don't know if that white stuff we see in the Linda Lane footage, if that is salt in anticipation for the snow. I don't know. I don't know if all that crackling and stuff we hear is actually gravel or if it's salt or if it's, you know, I don't know. I would think that that parking lot would be kind of clean, but obviously you see white rocks looking stuff on the pavement. So either it's salt, pebbles, gravel, crack rocks, meth. I don't I don't know. I don't know. 20 here in Texas is colder than 20 in Idaho. I agree with you, Texas. I agree with you. Anything lower than, I would say, 62 is cold to me. Any place that gets piled or shaded areas would not melt very fast. That's why I want to go there. I want to go there and spend like a week. If I don't go this year, I'm definitely going next year because I won't have a lot of things going on and all the hoopla would have gone down from the trial and everything. And I can just walk around and actually talk to people, not be creepy about it. Maybe even go have a water at the corner club and BS with the patrons. Who knows? I'd like to know what time the tickets were issued compared to that footage of the Elantra anyways. I mean, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of interesting questions that you guys are bringing up. And that's why we're so mesmerized by this case. We should start a GoFundMe to take a trip to Idaho. There you go. There you go, Texas. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't want to be looking too creepy, though. Call the cops on me and stuff. I live in a canyon. It would just get a hard frost. It stays for months unless it rains. Okay. Let's start a GoFundMe, y'all, and we can get a GoFundMe going and fund our trip to Idaho. Do they really have potatoes? Like, is that really a thing? Or is that like just something that people have made up because there is a potato called Idaho potatoes? Yeah, that wouldn't be creepy at all. Especially if they're wearing yoga pants. Oh my lord. 12 gauge. This case made other content creators go from 200 to 12K in chat. And now they're YouTube famous official. Some had less. Yeah, I have 15 to 20. The most I've ever had is 120 in the chat. I haven't ever had that many in chat. If you come here, we'll have to get the back home going. We will video it so y'all can say, look at them old farts. You're right on there. You're right on. What is it with yoga pants? Um, Self-explanatory. Backhoe, yeah. I knew what you meant. That way we can dig a bigger hole, right? If you can't dig it, get a bigger shovel. Yoga pants. I don't know. It's kind of like when I was in high school, people used to wear Rocky Mountain jeans, and I thought those things were amazing. They're just nothing in the way, I guess. It just lets you see whatever. I think, personally, I think leggings are more revealing than yoga pants, but I don't know. I don't know. I try not to look. You know, I try not to be a pervert in the gym. I love the Rocky Mountains. Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about, Texas. You know what I'm talking about. You know, this case is interesting. I'm really looking forward to it being resolved in August. That'd be a good time to go in November of 2025. Go check it out. I'll look. I ain't scared. Me neither. Me neither. I was at the Texas OU game the other day in Dallas, and one of the girls from the one of the dancers from the field, she walked by, where they wear stirrups and little shorts or whatever. And I watched her walk by, and I caught eyes with my niece, and she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry. I'm sure you will get a warm welcome." Okay, potatoes are in the southern part of the state. Heather, are you still in here? Is that why you use the potato in your videos? I always wondered why she's using the potatoes. I guess that's why she's using them. I don't know. That's what my friend used to say, Texas. Hell, I'm old, not dead. He used to say that too. He used to say that all the time. I ain't dead. That's hilarious. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. The members only gives you guys a chance to that gives you guys a chance to really bond a little bit, and that way when you're in the regular chat, you already know each other. You already have a camaraderie. I really wish more people would show up to the chat. I just don't understand why they don't, but it is what it is. I do want to tell you guys that on Saturday night about 9 Central, Crime Sleuthing and myself are gonna go over a video that she did with Kara Norton Carnoto. And we're gonna talk about Kara, and we're gonna kind of, give our commentary on her, because she seems to be one of the family members that get the hardest rap, other than the Goncalves. You know, where I work, that's an everyday thing. I'm sure it is. It's hard to work out sometimes. You just get distracted so easily. I don't know why people got to wear less clothing when they're working out than more clothing. I just don't get it sometimes. Um, but yeah, if you're in the area, I hope that you guys stop on by and check it out. You know, yeah, you're right, Paula. 12, yeah, it is what it is. I have a channel and get literally no comments ever, and someone is constantly reporting my community page. I didn't know you had a channel. Would have been dropping your channel all this time. Go ahead and copy and paste your channel in here. That way we can go and check it out and subscribe. I had no clue you had a channel. What do you talk about? Do you talk about true crime? Yeah, I totally feel you, bro. I get there for a while. I was getting copyrighted on everything that I was showing. So I had to change up my game. Hey, that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I'll look for you too. So I appreciate you coming in here and being part of our community in here. I try not to cuss or use foul language most of the time, but sometimes I slip. Well, that just is beneficial, Aquarius. It really is. And on my new channel, I'm gonna make it more holistic. It's gonna be more of what I do for a living. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be true crime. I'm not gonna talk Idaho over there. I'm not gonna talk anything true crime. I'm gonna talk about addictions, how to overcome them, how to, how to get past certain events in your lives, coping skills, just all kinds of different things that have to do with therapy. I'm not going to talk about true crime. So if that interests you, y'all go ahead and subscribe. Or if you know somebody that might utilize the channel, tell them about it and they can subscribe because I can't go live until I get 500 people. So, um, no, I got a new channel myself. Don't be modest. If you have some good stuff, man, we want to see it. We're not going to judge. We want to see it. Yeah, post all the channels in here that you know of, Aquarius. I mean, I'm not one of those creators that'd be like, no, you can't post that person stuff in here. What's wrong with you? I'm not that person at all. Oh, thank God tomorrow's Friday. I'm on call for 3 more days. Actually, 4. Get off call on Monday. So, and I'll be able to talk about juveniles and, you know, stuff that I deal with, situations about children and how they react to punishments and rewards and things like that. It's a different page. It'll give me a different audience. Even though you guys are going to be in there, you've already seen a lot of the stuff that, I've started on this page. But it's frustrating when people come into your chat and they leave because they're not holistic minded or they're just looking for a certain kind of content. So I want to be able to do something where people want to go over there to assist themselves in getting better in their lives. You know what I mean? Hey, totally understand, Aquarius. But you guys, I've been on here an hour and 38 minutes. I've enjoyed you guys' company. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And hopefully you look at the things that I showed in a different light. We will know one day. We had a guy that wears yoga pants and he had to leave the gym. They have yoga pants for guys now. It's crazy. One more thing. You know what? You know what's crazy is some days I go in later, like at 8:30, so I try to hit the gym early in the morning. I always wondered why at nighttime there's all these guys and there's hardly no females. All the females go in the morning. They go first thing in the morning. So that's kind of frustrating. You go in the evening or at night and it's all guys. Yeah. That would be awesome, Paula. That would be awesome. I'll definitely display it on a members only. And that's another thing, guys, is this is kind of a perk. So if you know anybody that isn't a member, let them become a member to see what we talk about. You know what I mean? So you guys have a good evening. And one more thing. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? If you can't dig it, get yourself a bigger shovel. Oh shit, Rondi. Maestro, cue that music.
like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength, now I'm the only one. Only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules my life destroyed.
All right, y'all. I'll be good. Take care. See you soon.